What's going on, guys? It is Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today I am finally ready to do my full review on the Hinderer XM-18 3.5 inch. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. All right, today we are going to be talking about and doing the full review of the Hinderer XM-18 3.5 inch. This one happens to be the slicer grind. If you've seen my unboxing, you'll know that I did kind of a celebrity unboxing because this one was provided by Mr. Slicey Dicey. He had this thing up for sale and I purchased it directly from him. So yes, this is a celebrity because it was once on his channel and he is just amazing. Slicey has been a good friend of mine. Bought a couple of things from him. Always a part of his Brews and Blades whenever I have the opportunity. Just a super cool guy. We also want to wish him the best because he was recently sick. Diagnosed with the Rona, so he is doing better now, according to him on this last live stream. So we want to thank you so much, Heavenly Father, for that, to make sure that he is safe. We, Slicey, we love you, buddy. But anyway, this one did come directly from him, and I was really super excited. He gave me a good deal. This one is a Gen 6, which means it has the tri-way pivot system. The tri-way pivot system is pretty revolutionary, and I love it. I actually did not want a Hinderer that was not a Gen, or at least a Gen 6 XM-18 because of the tri-way pivot system. I think it's awesome. These things beforehand were running on nylon washers, and I heard great things about them. I heard not so great things about them. So I'm very thankful to have this one that can run on bearings, phosphor bronze, or nylon washers, whichever you're choosing. This one came to me, and it comes factory from Hinderer with the bearings installed. So over the last week and a half, 2 weeks, however long that I've been carrying and using this thing, I kept the bearings in it because I wanted to see how those would perform. I do plan on using switching it out to the phosphor bronze, maybe not the nylon washers, but at least the phosphor bronze to see what this thing feels like with those. But I think it's just an ingenious thing to have the capability to change this out. I'll show you the that little marking right there on the flipper tab. It insinuates the tri-way pivot system. So really cool. These knives I've been wanting to try for quite a while, especially watching channels like Slicey Dicey. Him and Metal Complex are huge Hinderer fans, and you know, I've been buying knives left and right. That one came across, and I was like, okay, you know what? I need to have a Hinderer in my hand. I knew the 3-inch was going to be a little too small for my hand size, so this one being a slicer grind, I knew it was going to be performing well, and you know, and it being 3.5 inch, it would fit my hand better. And it does, definitely. So what you get on this guy, this one is pretty much a plain Jane XM-18 3.5 inch with the slicer grind. What you get is CPM 20 CV steel. And as you can see there, made in the USA. And then, of course, the Hinderer logo. G10 show side, which the G10 is very well done. Then you have a titanium frame lock with the titanium pocket clip, the lock bar stabilizer, the lock bar insert. So a lot going on here, a lot of premium stuff, a lot of premium design elements and materials. So how is the action? The action on the bearings is very, very good. I definitely did take this thing apart in the 2 weeks or so since I've had it, because it did get a little gritty on me. And so I did take it apart to clean out the bearings, put a little oil in it. And ever since I did that, oh my gosh, is this thing pretty cool. Now, it's not drop shutty. Some people have drop shutty XM-18s, but mine is not, even on the bearings, which I might be able to adjust the pivot a little bit. I do not have a spanner tool per se, but I didn't need a spanner tool to take this knife apart. So, you know, I probably will end up getting one, but didn't need it. So I took it apart, put some oil in it. Now this thing is just functioning very, very well, and it's also very, very smooth. It's just not fall shutty like some of the ones that I've seen in the past. So I might have to adjust the pivot, but I will say this, that is absolutely rock solid. This thing is not going anywhere. It has no movement in any direction. So that is super cool and what I expect. Now this is a overbuilt, what's known as an overbuilt knife. This is a work knife. And Rick Hinderer, great guy, designed this knife. He is a firefighter, first responder. He made this knife, or designed this knife for that purpose. He, I guess had, I don't know what brand knife, but had a frame lock knife. And in the adrenaline moment, he pressed the lock bar out way too far that way, and then the knife did not function. So he's like, there's got to be a better way to do that. So that's when he came up with this lock bar stabilizer, which prevents it from going this way and over traveling. So really, really cool design. And of course, you will see so many knives take that design element and putting into their knives today because it works very, very well. Another thing about this being designed for first responders, the ergonomics is amazing, especially for my hand size and what I like. I really have found that I like this style of handle shape where it gets a little fatter down the end, and then also has a forward choil. That's really kind of my thing now. I really enjoy a knife where I can have quite a few choked up position, a regular position, and then a choked up position. I really enjoy that because I can find myself using them for different tasks in those hand grips. I mean, reverse grip is also good. You know, the draw cut, all that stuff is good. The draw cuts kind of get your finger here on the flipper tab, which we will also go over. But as far as ergonomically, it is really, really good. Now, speaking of jimping, this flipper tab does have jimping. You know, I don't think it's bad. Jimping. This flipper tab is really designed for the push button. You can light switch it and it works, but I've found that the push button works every single time and the light switch might sometimes be a little bit slow. So I do the push button and this thing works awesome. The jimping on the top here is a little bit sharp, especially on this G10 side. And so when you're flipping the knife and you land on this, you know, you can feel it. Now, in regular everyday use, I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. The only time that I found it to be somewhat, excuse me, irritating is when I'm playing with this dude, which I'll flick it and close it and flick it and close it and flick it and close it 100 times a day because guess what? That's what I do. I love playing with my knives. So doing that, the jimping back here, you know, you can kind of feel the jimping on the lock bar. Also, it's not too crazy aggressive, but I mean, you can feel it when you're playing with this thing all day, every day. But the jimping is there for a purpose. This knife was originally designed to be worn with gloves because first responders almost always wear gloves when they're on the scene. So I can't fault the knife for that because that's part of the design. As far as the hardware, this whole thing, of course, like I said, is made in the USA. Rick Hinderer has been making knives for a few decades now, and this is part of one of the original Holy Trinity of the manufacturing world for USA-made knives, which is Rick Hinderer, Mick Strider, and Chris Reeve. So this one was the first one that I bought out of that Trinity. Once I had this in hand, I basically told myself, okay, I have to get each knife. I have to get the Holy Trinity because I need to be able to feel these iconic brands in my hand and see if the hype is correct. Now, this knife, especially as far as I really, whenever I first started seeing these on Slicey Dicey and Metal Complex, I liked it, but I wouldn't fallen in love with it. It was only when I really got it in hand and really started looking at the similarities of the other knives that I have with that particular ergonomic shape that I really was like, yeah, I got to do it. And of course, once I got it in hand, it confirmed it. I really, really enjoy the ergonomics of the XM-18. Now, they do make an XM-18 3-inch, and they make an XM-24, which is a little bit larger of a knife. And you guys, if you watch my channel, you know I like larger knives. So an XM-24 might be in the future sometime. I don't know, but this one is a very good size for EDC. It is, you know, maybe some people would say it's a large knife, but for me anyways, I carry these size knives all the time. Now, remember everybody, this is my opinion, in my opinion only. I'm not an expert. I'm just a knife guy, knife enthusiast, knife lover. And so I'm just giving you my opinions. There's a lot of diehard Hinderer fans out there and a lot of diehard other fans out there. So remember that it's just my opinion. I am not the know-all, end-all of knives. And so I'm just kind of putting out there what I feel like. And I feel like this is an absolutely wonderful hard use tool that will last you for a very, very long time. Another thing about Hinderer that you can't find in a lot of other manufacturers, at least to the extent of these, excuse me, is the fact that one of their slogans is you can make it your own. And what I mean by that is that you can buy aftermarket parts for these things to make it look exactly the way you want. You have G10, you have titanium, you have all those different colors and variations. You have micarta, you have all the hardware, the back spacers, the barrel spacers, the pocket clip, these little tabs here for the filler for the pocket clip on the other side. All that stuff can be replaceable or is replaceable to do whatever you want. They have all kinds of anodized, brass, copper. They just have everything and anything. And so this one will be getting an update. I don't know when, but I am thinking green micarta with the bronze colored titanium hardware. I think that would look cool. So that's really great that with these knives, you can just basically make it whatever you want it to look like and still have the same great hard use folding knife in your pocket. I really, really like that. Of course, like I said, you have different sizes, different strokes for different folks, but this one fits my hand. Now, as far as the way it carries, the pocket clip works fantastic. However, a lot of people don't like that it doesn't carry very deep in the pocket. A lot of people like deep carry, and I believe you can get aftermarket clips that make it fit a little bit deeper, but keep in mind again that this was designed for first responders, and so having a little bit of knife out of your pocket to get a good purchase to pull it out, I think was a good call for what this knife was designed for. So for that, I can't knock it either. I'm not one that has to have a deep carry clip anyway. I don't mind to have a little bit of knife sticking out of the pocket, but it does carry very, very well. You've got, of course, a flipper tab. So in true Nick Shabazz fashion, it is a little bit of a pocket picker. So if you do have it in your pocket, you will, as you see, straight down in front of the camera, it kind of curves off this way so your hand can get past it, but you are going to feel that. I don't usually carry anything in my pockets other than a very, very small flashlight that has a rubber coating around it, so I don't mess up my flashlight or my knife. And so I found that this did carry quite well. Before we go over specs as far as length and stuff, let's go ahead and get a weight, because obviously this is not a super duper light carry, but it's not supposed to be. It is a worker. But at 5.4 ounces, 5.45 ounces, I don't think that's bad. For the size of knife that you're getting, I really don't. If you're one that counts ounces, this is definitely not the knife for you. But if you're wanting a work knife, the one that will last you forever, I really think that that weight's fine. So let's go over ahead and do some size comparisons. This is one of my all-time favorite ergonomic knives, the Spyderco Shaman. As you can see, similar in size. The XM-18's got it for a little bit, and then something that I've told you as far as the ergonomic lines, the bigger spacing back here, the nice choil and front finger choil. All these knives have that, and they're all about the same size. This is a Strider, but it's a Protect Strider design, same size as the regular Strider S&G, and have found that this kind of ergonomics works for me quite well, because now these are very, very comfortable knives in hand. This one's a little bit less so because of the jimping that it has, but the jimping on the S&G is kind of aggressive up here, but we'll do the full review on that. Obviously, the Spyderco Shaman, still just one of the best knives in hand, where it's just so comfortable. Really, really enjoy the Shaman. A couple other size comparisons. Of course, we have the Chris Reeve Large and Cozy, so I'll put a little Chris Reeve in there. And then the Spyderco Manix 2. So I think it's a good size heavy duty folding knife. For all these are pretty heavy duty folding knives, and so the size is about comparable with all of them. One that I have in from loan from Mr. Jake over at Bearded Gear. This is the Koenig Arius. So as you can see, the Arius is a little bit larger. I had to throw this in here because I've only got it for a short period of time, and we'll be doing a review on this. But as you can see, the Koenig is even a larger knife than the XM-18. So the XM-18, I believe, is a good size for most people in this application. Oh man, so all in all, I'm a Hinderer fan. It's one of those knives, guys, that is not cheap. So you can pick these guys up brand new for about $425. The good news is that they are readily available. You can pretty much find one. You might not be able to find one that is the exact spec that you want, because these come in a array of different blade shapes. You've got the Spanto, you've got do you have a Danto? I don't even know if you have a Danto, but you have the slicer. You have like 4 or 5 different blade shapes that you can choose from, and they do come in different materials as well, but usually it's 20 CV or M390 through like exclusive and whatnot. But they have the vintage series that come in A1 still, I believe it is. So, you know, you just have a lot of choices. The thing is they're now readily available enough to where if you find one, or if you want one, you can get one and then make it your own. You know, back, 5-8 years ago, you weren't really able to do that. And the secondary prices on these things were absolutely just ridiculous. So if you want one, I believe now is the time that you can get one and feel good. You can find them all day long on the secondary market for a reasonable price. Slicey hooked me up and gave me a very reasonable price on this. So glad that he did, and I am very happy to have this in my collection right now. I will be doing a full review of all the knives in the Holly Trinity, and this was the first one that I bought, so we're doing the review on it. And guys, final conclusion, it is exactly what it's made for. It is a overbuilt, very rugged, tough, and also thin behind the edge. This thing is about 20 thousandths behind the edge, so this particular grind is slicey. Some of the other grinds might not be as slicey, but performs absolutely wonderful as far as that in my EDC task. Most of my EDC tasks are, you know, boxes, packages, zip ties, stuff like that. I did do a little bit of wood cutting with this just to see how it was going to do, and wanted to really get a feel for the jimping back here whenever I was really getting down, of course. And so the jimping you will feel it if you're doing those kind of hard tasks. But the knife is built to last. 100% American made, which just gives me the warm and fuzzies. So all in all, very recommendable knife, especially because you can just really get something that I think everybody would like. I mean, he has a bunch of different models. The XM-18 is one of the iconic models, and it is an iconic model for a reason. And so the overall length of this guy is 8 1/4 inches. The blade length is 3 1/2. The cutting edge is about 3.125. And you've got 160 thousandths thick blade stock. So it's not very, very thin, but it's not overly thick either. And like I said, 20 thousandths behind the edge. It does perform very well in this configuration, which is the slicer grind. And of course, 20 CV is my all-time favorite still. So I just can't really complain. Really like this knife. Guys, if you have any questions on this, I am not the expert, but I will answer any questions that you may have about this particular knife. If you are looking to buy one of the knives in the Holy Trinity, please stay tuned, because I have this one, the Chris Reeve Large and Cozy, and the Strider SMF that I will be reviewing, and then we will all talk about all these knives in this series to find out which one I like the best. Guys, if you're still here, please go check out Jeez, I can't talk. Blah, blah, blah. Go check out my my videos. I have a giveaway going on right now, so it's going to end tomorrow. So if you're watching this tonight or on Saturday evening, more than likely is when I'm going to be doing my giveaway. So you have plenty of time. Go hit that. Go enter to win some cool gear. Also, go check out EDC. Everyday City Carry. I was going to do his acronyms. Go check out Everyday City Carry. I was able to do a podcast with him. He invited me on, and so the podcast is on his channel. I will have it linked down below, where, guys, if you might not be able to see what I look like, I did that kind of on purpose, but as a face reveal, you get to see what I look like. You get to see my ugly mug and laugh at me. So go check that out. It was a really, really fun time. Ray is a super cool dude, and we just had a blast. So if you like that kind of stuff, go ahead and check that out. Also, hit that subscribe button if you like it. If you want to see more, hit the notification bell, because I do giveaways every month. I got one going on right now, but I do them every month. So hit the notification bell and you'll be notified for that kind of stuff. I really want to say thank you to everybody that has been a big supporter of me, Bearded Gear and Scott from Big Bore Knife and Gear. Those guys have been epic. Big Red EDC, Slicey Dicey, of course, for selling me this famous knife that was on his channel. And guys, be safe in this crazy world that we're living in, and we will see you in the next one.